Did he really have the right, the authority, the power to say, I'm going to stay and live longer, or I'm going to go right now? Most Christians wouldn't even believe that. They don't think that way. But God has put that in His hands. He's put that in our hands. And certain things will happen different way. If we make this choice, we'll have this outcome. If we make this choice, we'll have that outcome. And it wasn't God's choice, it was our choice. It's contrary to a lot of religion, but it's truth, and the truth will make you free.
That's right. The devil, knowing that, will do his best to train you to do and say certain things over and over and over again. And you're actually setting certain spiritual laws into motion and don't realize it.
Yeah.
And people can do that and shorten their lives. People can do that and bring what have been called generational curses, which there's truth to that, but what most people don't understand is each generation opened the door to that thing, and then the daddy taught the children how to talk, and they're saying the same thing that their parents did. And so that same spirit has found a home, and as long as you keep doing and saying those same things, that thing's going to stay generation after generation after generation until somebody comes along and says, this stops with us.
You know, that happened with my dad, Brother Kenneth. My granddad had heart problems, and my dad had symptoms, and I forget what age he was. He wasn't all that old, but he stepped out of the house one day and had a massive heart attack right there in the carport, the garage. And he's dying. He said he was leaving his body. But by this time, he had gotten into the Word for a number of years. And he said he was leaving his body. And he said, Lord, is it time for me to go now? Do I need to go now? He said, the Lord said, no. No.
But he was about to.
He's about to. And so he said he started fighting. He started rebuking death. He started fighting, believing to come back. And he did. He came back, and it took him several months, but he got completely healed and lived for years. But you think at that moment, he had to make a choice. And if he'd have just believed, well, this is the predetermined will of God for me,
he'd died.
That'd have been it.
Yeah,
he'd have been robbed of years that he could have had. And so what we're talking about earlier, whatever you believe, if you believe wrong, you're going to yield to wrong things and assume it's God. But if you know the truth, you'll realize that's not God, and you'll make a choice, and you'll resist it and choose life. And that's what he did that day, and that's what he got.
My.
Glory to God.
Glory to God. And he broke the chain of that in the Moore family.
Yes, sir.
That's a big thing.
It is a big thing.
That is a big thing.
He said, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life. Choose life. Who's going to choose? Understood subject is you. You choose between these two, and choose life, that both you and your seed may live. Glory to God. He said that you may love the Lord your God and obey His voice and cleave to Him, for He is your life and the length of your days, that you may dwell in the land which the Lord sware.
I see in that 19th verse that he's saying, you don't have any excuse. I call heaven and earth to record today.
Exactly.
That I have set this before you. I've made my choice.
Yeah.
I choose you.
Right.
I choose you to live. I choose you to be with me.
Yes, sir.
Now you choose.
But that's exactly right. In time to come, that people will say, well, God, you know, I didn't have this, and I didn't have this, and this didn't happen, or that didn't happen. And He'll say, heaven, did you hear what I said? Earth, did you hear what I said? I said, it's your choice.
Excuse me.
Your choice. You choose. And if we make a wrong choice, how can we blame God for the choice we made? And yet people are trying to do it all the time.
I have known people over the years, several of them, that kept asking the question, why do bad things happen to good people? And had just stopped right there and were holding out from yielding to God any further until somebody answered that question for them. I just don't understand this now.
Right.
If God is this and if is that, how come bad things happen to good people? And I just took that up with the Lord. I spent some time before the Lord with it. I said, Lord, I'm not holding that to you, but I want to know the answer to that. And finally, it was so simple. You had to have help misunderstand it, you know. Because good people make bad choices.
Exactly.
Good people,
Well said.
but they make bad choices.
Yes, sir.
And the bad choices have bad results.
Yep.
And we're out of time. Oh, my goodness.